Hey guys, it's Wulf, and if you've been watching the channel for about, the past month or so or whatever, you've probably taken notice that I've made a couple of videos about Club Penguin. Well, really only like two, but I've got some other stuff that I kind of want to do because Club Penguin was such a big game for not only just me throughout my childhood, but for so many people when they were kids. I mean, I played that game non-stop from like the 5th grade to the 9th grade probably, and beyond that with all the private servers and all that stuff. And so I've just been wanting to kind of make some videos about Club Penguin because it was such an important thing to so many people. And so in this video, I want to show you guys around the Club Penguin Island developer menu. And if you didn't know, when Club Penguin Island shut down, and if I remember right actually before this, the developers of it enabled the debug menu for everybody to access, so you can play with it and, change stuff around and mess with stuff in the game. And I just wanted to make kind of a video showing it off and what the different stuff does, and also sort of asking for help in a way, because I think I have a theory on how like a Club Penguin Island private server could be made. And I know that like everybody hated the game, but whatever, because there's a networking tab in the debug menu. But the first thing that I want to do, I already recorded this video earlier, and then my mom's dog decided to try to dig up the carpet, so I had to go get her, and it became a mess. Anyway, first thing I want to show you guys though is how to actually get into the game of Club Penguin Island in the offline mode, because as you guys know, games shut down. You can't actually play it online anymore, but you still can play it, and they even said how you would be able to play it offline. So here's how to do that. First, you're going to want to go to your file explorer. You're going to open up your program files. You're going to go to Club Penguin Island, and instead of clicking on Club Penguin Island launcher, you're not going to click on that, because that is the launcher, and that would try to connect to the internet to look for updates and stuff. And if I remember right, it gives you errors and stuff since it can't connect to any servers, since the servers are shut down. So instead, you're going to click on the client folder, and then you're going to click on the application for Club Penguin Island directly, and then the game will load up from there. Now, while we're also in these menus, I want to show you guys some stuff. I'm using OBS, so I just want to make sure my settings are good while I'm going. Okay, so now, as you can see, we're in here. I have two accounts here. You have Pengston0, which is the account I actually used to play the game all of the like 2 times I played it, because I never really actually played it that much. And Pengston Friend, which is an account I made after the game shut down. You can make new accounts on here pretty much an unlimited amount. You can name them whatever. You can set the passwords to whatever. You can do that through creating an account or sign in as another penguin. Since there's no connection to a server or anything, the game just automatically like assumes here's a new player and will start the game off. If you sign in with a character that doesn't already exist, it'll just start you off like you're creating a new character. So you can make like anything you want now, really, which might especially be helpful for anybody who wants to make like, I don't know, Club Penguin videos, if anybody still wants to do that, like, making the penguins like actors and stuff. I remember when I was back in like the 8th grade or whatever, that was a pretty big thing. But we're just gonna log in to the account that I used to use when I played the game. So let me type in my password. I'm blacking out the screen so that way you guys can't see me typing in my password, but I don't think it actually matters now anyway, given that the game is shut down. So now we're in the game. As you can see, it's just Club Penguin Island. Still does all of its stuff. It's empty though, and I think there's a few things that are kind of, not to sound dumb, but kind of broken because it doesn't have a server connection or whatever anymore. But let's jump right into the developer menu, because I just kind of want to make this video as quick as possible, because it's going to be a bit of a long video because there's a lot to talk about. So to access this menu, you hit the tilde key, which is the same key you use in like every video game to access command prompt, or not command prompt, but like the command line or developer menu or whatever. So when you hit that, you get this menu. Now all of these white tiles are things you can click on that'll give you another menu that allows you to mess with something. Root doesn't actually like do anything. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna click on all these and explain what all of them do to you, or do for you real quick. Do to your penguin, whatever. I can't talk. Anyway, so first off, inventory. This one's pretty simple. Consumables, you can go into here. You'd set your, also while I'm at it, just how to navigate this menu. Click on a white tile to go to something. it'll bring you to another menu. Click on the black tile in the middle to go back a menu. So inventory, consumable, now we're looking at consumables. So if I want to give myself a consumable, like giving the character, you know, a piece of pizza or like a fish dog or whatever all that stuff was in here, you can click type, you choose whatever you want to give your character, and then you choose, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Then you choose the count of whatever you want, and then invoke actually causes it to happen. Decoration, I believe that decoration does, like, this just adds stuff to your, that just adds stuff to your inventory, yeah. That'll add things for your igloo to your penguin's inventory. Not really much else to see there. You can choose structures. Yeah, okay, so you can do decorations for your igloo, which is like chairs and all that stuff like I just selected. And then structures is like the actual igloos and stuff. So that just adds that to your inventory. You can delete everything. You can set counts for all that stuff. Inventory, just like I said, consumables and decorations. The clothing is in another area. So that's the inventory tile. Interactive zones tile. This one's a little bit weird and not really useful now that the game is pretty much shut down. But this just allows you to play with the stages in the beach and the town. Lets you choose like the number of guitars that can be played or something like that. I'm not really sure exactly what this does because I haven't really played with it and I don't really have much of a use for it, but it just lets you like choose the set the number of drums on the stage and stuff like that. So it lets you just kind of choose how many people could play music, but since right now there can only be one person playing at a time, since it's offline and you're the only person going to be playing, there's not really use for that anymore. Free camera is pretty interesting. It allows you to do a free camera. You start it, invoke. Now the only thing with free camera though is you need to have a controller to use it. You can't use a keyboard and mouse for it, I don't believe, but as you can see, the field of view is a little bit higher now and my penguin has disappeared. I just plugged in an Xbox One controller and it lets you look around the map. The controls are kind of wonky, kind of hard to get used to, but you know, they do work. You can explore, you can look up close at stuff that you wouldn't have been able to look at up close before. You can like see the characters and stuff up close. So yeah, it's pretty cool, this feature. There's really like not much to do besides capture video with it, honestly. You can, you know, go out and see stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to reach in the game. It's interesting. One of the most interesting things I have noticed about Club Penguin Island, though, as I've been able to play with like the tools from the developers, is that a lot of stuff in this game is actually fully fully three-dimensional, which is interesting because a lot of games will do stuff where they'll only model like half of it. So for example, like the migrator would only be half of it and then the other side would be some weird like see-through thing to save on storage or whatever. But everything in Club Penguin Island that I have seen for the most part that is a 3D object is a full-on 3D object, which almost makes you wonder if at some point they were considering making this like Toontown style where you could like wander around and the camera wasn't in a fixed location. There is some stuff like this 2D like mountain here, and there's a few 2D things like that, but nothing, there's not a lot of that. So yeah, there's that. You can, like I said, just kind of explore around and see what there is. Look out, you know, behind you, see how it does do zoom outs and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's the free camera. Like I said, you do need to have a controller for that, though. I believe I've only gotten it to work with an Xbox 360 controller as of now, but I also haven't really tried it with anything else. I haven't been able to do anything with the keyboard and mouse with that, though. So I believe you need a controller, which is really weird that they set it up like that, I thought, but whatever. Next is data. This one's kind of interesting, but also kind of hard to explain. If you guys have ever played a Club Penguin private server, you'll probably remember that some of them had like a clone command where you type like !clone and then put in another person's username and you'd be able to, you know, it would give you all their clothes and make your penguin look just like them. Well, this is really similar to that. So if you hit export and then you do a username and you hit, so the only character in here is my character Pengston0 right now. So if I do that, then I hit invoke, it'll copy all of that to my clipboard. Now what that means is if I go ahead and open up Notepad, it shows you, it gives you this like text file of all this stuff for your character. Now I'm not sure if I'm completely right though. I want to try something here. I think if I just do Pengston, which was my like Disney account or whatever, it'll actually give me like more specific stuff, because this is all just kind of like generic character stuff. But yeah, so like right there, I went ahead and I typed in Pengston, which was my actual like registration name, and yeah, now it has all of my, you know, account details and stuff on here, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, I might like end up like deleting this or whatever in the actual video, or blacking this out, because I noticed there's some like stuff in here. I don't know if it has like my password in here or anything like that, but yeah, so that's all the account info. And so now if you go like back into the game, you also have an import button, which if you do this, you can type in the username of a penguin that you want to import stuff to. So if you had like all the stuff that I just showed you in my clipboard copied, then you would type in somebody's username, hit paste, and then all of the attributes that were in the list of stuff in your clipboard would be attributed to that penguin. Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's effectively just like a fancy version of the cloning from Club Penguin private servers. The settings menu is just general settings. Localization allows you to change language between any of these languages, so English, Portuguese, French, Spanish, and oversized, which I believe is just larger. I keep hitting the X when I don't mean to hit the X. Screen orientation. Supposedly screen orientation will change your screen orientation. I've played with it. I don't believe that it actually does anything. It hasn't. I've tried both settings. It stays the same both here and on my phone, so I don't know if that actually does anything. Set player active name simply shows if people have usernames under their characters or not. So if I go back into that and then I hit, well, I had it on true, false. See, now it's deleted. It's not there anymore. So that just shows player names or not. Timescale is pretty interesting. It shows how fast the game is moving. So let me go up to something like a flag where you guys will be able to see movement going on. You probably see it with the water here. So if I go back and I go to timescale and I change this to 5, then I invoke that, as you can see, everything in the game is moving 5 times as fast now, so my character is moving around more and stuff. So yeah, and like if I click, my character is zooming around really quick. So yeah, that's how that works. It just speeds up or slows down time. You can also use it to slow down time. So like if I set this to 0.5, everything will move at half the speed. So now it's all in slow-mo. So I mean, this could be pretty useful sort of thing for if you want to like make a video or whatever, and then now it's back on 1, so now it's back to the normal time scale. So that's what that does. And then classic minigames is pretty simple. Launch it, invoke, it just brings you to the classic minigame menu, so you can play minigames from the original Club Penguin. Pretty much serves the same purpose as that right there box. I can't remember where that's actually located, the arcade machine, but it pretty much just allows you to play the games that are on the arcade machine anywhere. That's just about it. Let's go to Avatar next. Avatar, you can change your outfit. By changing your local outfit, it adds or removes, well, it pretty much adds or removes different things to your character. You can choose what you want on your character. Hit invoke, it'll change your character's outfit. However, that doesn't stay permanent. If you exit the game and then log back in, your character, I believe, will just be wearing the same clothes as they were before, or just won't have any clothes on. Particles just allows you to show the little thing like if you just want to race or whatever above your penguin's head. So that doesn't really do a whole lot. Clear outfit, I believe, just takes all the clothing items off of your character. Scene loader, haven't talked about that yet. Scene loader is pretty much just teleportation. It allows you to go to a bunch of different rooms. It doesn't actually let you go to every room, I don't believe, but it lets you go to most rooms, including a few stuff like Herbert's base, which is actually only available at the end of the game, I believe. So it lets you go to some rooms that aren't normally accessible, but it doesn't have every room. So yeah, it just kind of lets you teleport around. Pretty cool. Yeah, like I don't think that this is normally accessible either. Actually, I haven't really been to this room before. I had to play with that at some point. But yeah, so there's some stuff, some cool locations that lets you get to. But it's kind of weird because it's only certain locations. It's not every location. Reward, all of these are pretty self-explanatory. Reset level, I believe, resets you down to the original, like you just started playing. Set coins lets you choose the amount of coins for your character. Clear rewards, I guess, clears your rewards. I haven't really played with this much because I don't want to screw with my character's stats. Set collectible count, I believe, changes like the amount of coral or whatever the other collectibles are that you have. Set XP changes your XP. Max level gives you max level. Jackpot, I think, does everything. Quick jackpot literally gives you maximum everything. Completes all the levels for your character. Gives you max coins. I think gives you max coins. It just maxes out your account completely. So that's all the stuff. If you just want to max everything out, you can just use that. Now here's where it gets finally interesting, though. So this is the stuff that I found to be the most interesting, and also some of the stuff that I could kind of maybe use some help with because I have an idea. So if you hit network, you have two things in here. You have news and game server. Now news allows you to replace where the Club Penguin blog was on your Penguin's phone with any website. So as you can see here, I put my Twitter account, and now if I pull out my Penguin's phone and I go to Island News, it might take a minute because it's kind of weird with loading this sort of thing, since it's not the Penguin blog, it's not, formatted for the Penguin phone or whatever. But once this loads, you'll see that I have it set to my Twitter account. My Twitter account pops up in the game and works like usual. So yeah, here's my Twitter account. It's not really wanting to perfectly cooperate with me here, but you can, explore stuff. Here's me complaining about Club Penguin shutting down. Here's actually a tweet that I made about making this video. I didn't plan on making this video right after making this tweet, but that seems to be the way it went. So yeah, this is my Twitter account. It's pretty cool. You can see all that stuff. You can replace the Club Penguin blog with any website. So yeah, I thought that was one of the really cool things. Now here's where it gets really, really interesting though. So the other thing in the network tab is called game server. Now if you notice here, it says miss seeing your friends in the world, me too. Hopefully some smart fox can figure this out and allow us to play together again. So this pretty much is like how you would make a private server of Club Penguin Island. Now, it took me a while to figure out all the information that I needed to figure this out, and I might make a longer video about it, but to make a long story short, if somebody were to figure out how to set up a Smart Fox server, which Smart Fox isn't just a pun, that's literally the name of the server hosting program that they use to do Club Penguin Island, I found out. If somebody were to somehow set up a Smart Fox server that was like compatible with Club Penguin Island, other people would be able to type the server IP address or whatever, the server address into here and connect. So I have played around with this a little bit myself. I have pretty much no idea how to get it to work, but I'm sure that there's people out here who could. And I actually kind of want to, when I get back to college, I kind of want to ask around some of my friends, because I have some friends that are really good with network stuff and computer stuff like this, and could probably help me set it up. But yeah, so if that ever happened, if anybody was able to set up a Smart Fox server that was compatible with Club Penguin Island, this is how you would be able to connect to it. Now, I'm not really sure what would happen if like people had the same usernames or any of that stuff, but it's definitely something, if you have experience with this sort of thing, to maybe look into, because I think it would be really cool if somebody could set this up. And supposedly there's already people setting up private servers for Club Penguin Island, but I think this is the only way to do it with like the legitimate original Club Penguin Island client. And also just another note on that, if anybody does set up a server and you go to connect, make sure to type in the server address here, and then, you know, go back, exit out, and then exit out of the game and restart your game, and then it'll attempt to connect to the new server. Otherwise, it'll just keep connecting to offline mode or connecting to the server you had previously. So if anybody does set that up, make sure to restart your game before trying, like, type in the server, restart your game, and then try to play the game. But yeah, so that's all the stuff on the developer menu on Club Penguin Island. Hopefully this video is helpful. It was kind of sped through because I actually made the video already, like I said, but you could hear like dog barking in the background and stuff, and it was just kind of a mess. I've got more videos on the way, got some more CD reviews and stuff on the way. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. I will see you in the next video.